Who doesn't love a little Maui WOWIE? Yeah, well, the men's basketball team, they just won the Maui Invitational. They did it in one of those little Pac-12 afterlife final showdown. I'm going to tell you all about it coming up on this episode of Locked On USC.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Marc, and thank you. Welcome to the Locked On USC podcast show. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is now the #1 sports podcast network. Whether you're watching this show on YouTube, wherever you want to download this podcast, pick the platform. This show is free. This show will always appreciate your support. Yeah, a little bonus episode here. The men of Troy, USC basketball. Guess who's undefeated? 7-0. The Muss bus rolling along. A couple of former Pac-12 schools decided the Maui Invitational is the place to kind of settle the score. USC, part of the Big Ten. Arizona State, part of the Big 12. Well, USC won. They beat the Sun Devils and Bobby Hurley, 88-75. Yep, Trojans. They just won the Southwest Airlines Maui Invitational Championship. And it's the first time USC Hoops has actually won a multi-team event, any type of tournament, since the 2017 Diamond Head Classic. So it's been a few years, been a minute. Nevertheless, big win, impressive win. And the way they did it, watching this team play, considering it's a brand new roster. I mean, the only guy they really returned is Terrence Williams. And he plays, but he's more of a role player more than anything. The guys they brought in, they're the ones who are kind of making a name for themselves, kind of acquainting themselves to the USC fans. If you haven't been to a USC basketball game, and I'm guilty, I've been to just two, get out there. Start supporting this team. They are a fun bunch to watch. So as the team, they're still getting to know each other. Let me just let everybody know, this team is not even close to 100% healthy. Let's not forget Elijah Arenas, son of Gilbert Arenas. He's missed the entire season. They anticipate him coming back maybe in January, part of conference play. But USC also played this game without Rodney Rice, their point guard, maybe their best player on the team besides Chad Baker-Mazara. And there's a couple other players who might want to throw their name into the hat for that honor as well. I like this team, really versatile. What I liked about this is, again, they went through Boise State, Seton Hall, and then they beat Arizona State in the finals. 3 games, 3 days. Rodney Rice wasn't able to play. You lose a lot of scoring right there. Chad Baker-Mazara, he picked up the scoring slack, and let me just, that's not a hard ask, okay? The dude has not seen a shot that he does not like, and he can't make. Nice thing about CBM, he can stroke it from the outside. He can take it to the hole. He can make free throws. Really versatile, athletic, 6'8" guy. But yeah, anytime you can win 3 games in 3 days, you're doing something right. And Coach Musselman, he's doing something right with this program. As I mentioned, Boise State in round 1, Seton Hall in the semifinals, Arizona State in the finals. As far as the game itself, game was tied at 43 at halftime. And then when the second half started, USC just kind of wore the Sun Devils down. They used great defense. I mean, they clamped down. Really hot shooting from the outside the arc, 3-point range. And I love the energy this team plays with. You know, they haven't been the greatest of rebounding teams, but these last few games, they've really picked it up. So that's a positive sign. They're recognizing things they have to get better at. Rebounding was definitely one of them. But yeah, they just eventually they kept coming in waves. You know, Coach Musselman's got so many different guys he could use off the bench. And even without a Rodney Rice, these guys are really athletic. Jay Billis, who was calling the game on TV, he goes, yeah, USC's got a lot of SEC type of talent. I was like, what does that even mean? USC's never had a problem attracting talent or I guess he was talking about the SEC type of body. The Big Conference is known for being a physical conference. So whatever Jay was smoking, some of that Maui WOWIE, I don't know. It was an odd comment when I was listening to it on TV. Nevertheless, game tied at halftime. USC came out in the second half, ready to play. Not that they weren't ready in the first half, but they were just on point. They took a 5-0 run, and that started with Ezra Asar, favorite player on this team right now. Just he is. And then he got a steal that led to a Jerry Easter layup, and then all of a sudden it was like 48-43. And USC never gave up the lead from that point forward. They maintained that 5-point lead. When CBM, he made a 3 with about 16 and a half minutes to go. And then he made another deep shot that gave USC an 8-point lead. And that was actually their largest lead at that point in the game at all. So USC had offense when they needed it. They had defense all game long. And what was really cool is anytime ASU started to creep back in, so if they cut the lead to 5 or whatever, if it wasn't CBM making the shot, remember this name, Jaden Brownell. Okay. Also remember the name Jordan Marsh. One is a forward. Yes, good length, 6'9", 6'10", maybe. Who could stroke it from the outside. The other one, Jordan Marsh, he's not that tall. He's a gratuitous 6 foot, but dude is lightning fast, and he can also stroke it from the outside. He can get to the rim as well. He can facilitate. He's a good player out of USC. Brought him in from, what was it, University of North Carolina, Wilmington, I believe. So you had him, Jason Kofi, again, dude just brings it on the defensive end. USC, I think, blocked another 7 shots. The final 4 minutes of the first half, USC just kind of said, you know what, game over. The defense they tightened up. I know Arizona State did not make a field goal over the last 5.5 minutes of the game, but USC forced like 3 turnovers. They got 7 points from Jordan Marsh. All of a sudden you look up, final score, USC 88, Arizona State 75. So great way to start off the season. They're undefeated, 7-0. You go out to Hawaii, go out to Maui, you win that thing. And it's setting you up for conference play, which, guess what, starts right away. I'll tell you about that coming up in the next segment. USC is going to get into their conference schedule. And I also got a few other notes from what's going on with the Hoops team. Stick around. I think you're going to enjoy this. The NBA is back. There's no better place to get in on the action with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So even if you missed the start of the game, or maybe you just want to ride that hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who's going to score next to the fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can combine those live bets. And now all of a sudden you're doing a same game parlay, and you've got a shot at a much, much bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when it's your team making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets, and you can use that across the entire FanDuel app. All you got to do is win your first $5 bet. So head on over to FanDuel.com, sign up, and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Want to say thank you one more time for making Locked On USC your first listen every day, and also want to say thank you for making the Locked On Network the #1 sports podcast network. Coach Muss, he's got the bus rolling. I'm telling you, get behind this team. They are fun to watch. They play with a lot of energy. They don't quit. They love to play the game. You can tell these guys really enjoy playing with each other. And Coach Muss said after the game, he loves the mentality of the team right now. And keep in mind, they're learning how to win without guys on the floor who they're going to be depending on this season. Rodney Rice. I mentioned Elijah Arenas. USC's best players weren't in this game, but they got a really good balanced roster. So as what Coach Muss was talking about this, about the team's mentality after the game, he said, when you coach a team you're always mentally thinking about, the positives, things that could go wrong. Right now, we're building like a super competent mentality. This team understands, they know that they can win without guys on the floor. It's just they've got that next man up mentality, and it shows up when they're given an opportunity. Just got to keep riding that. Got to keep riding that wave. Since you're in Maui, right? Surf that wave. Playing 3 games in 3 days, winning that Maui tournament, perfect experience for when the Big Ten tournament rolls around. USC's already got a taste of that now. First, I mean, we're obviously getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. That's way down the line, like end of February, early March. First, USC's got to actually get through the Big Ten regular season conference, the regular conference season. So they beat up Boise State. Seton Hall gave them a good contest. ASU in the finals. That's the perfect ramp up. And when you think about it, it really is, because you go from ASU, a team that USC was pretty familiar with. Obviously not this roster, but USC, ASU, they were in the Pac-12. Well, guess what? USC, they're now heading up to Oregon for December 2nd. They'll play the Ducks on the road to open up conference play. And then USC comes home December 6th, and they will host the Washington Huskies. ASU, Oregon, Washington. Seems like old times, right? I've mentioned this a few times before. If you're a regular listener, every day or to Locked on USC. I'm a former high school basketball coach. One of the things you want to guard against is a team kind of feeling too good about themselves when they get on a run. You don't want them to feel too good too soon. Now, when you're 16, 17, 18 and 0, feel good about yourself. When you're 7 and 0, you're still kind of learning each other, learning how to play with each other. Don't get too arrogant. You got to kind of hold it back a little bit. You appreciate the success, but you got, as a coach, you got to keep your guys in check, so to speak. So Coach Muss said this: we have 2 really tough conference games coming up. When you hit 6 in a row or 7 in a row, you got to guard yourself about feeling good, and you've got to have some grittiness and some desperation, which we'll need on the road at Oregon. So that game against Seton Hall, that game against Boise, and obviously in the finals against ASU, it gave them an idea of what conference play is going to feel like. As far as who won the MVP of the tournament, Chad Baker-Mazara. Chad Baker-Mazara won the MVP of the tournament, and he's also the first player to ever win the tournament with 2 different teams. Transfer portal kind of makes that somewhat of a reality, so you'll probably see that happening in the future. But Chad's the first to get it done, so USC can say, "Hey, yeah, we got a player on our team who won it twice." I'm not a huge fan of players sticking around college till they're like 30, but what Chad Baker-Mazara brings to this team is he knows how to win. He's with Auburn last year, who went to the Final Four. So if you want to take that positive from it, that's what he brings, besides being super talented as well. Chad Baker-Mazara can make every shot. So can Jaden Brownell from the outside. I can't, if you're not a huge USC basketball fan like I am, some of you who are, how long it's been since USC's had like a really viable deep threat that you can count on anytime he's ready to take the shot. That's Jaden Brownell. I mean, straight up shooter. 16 points, 6 from 11 from the field. He did that in 15 minutes. And I love this quote that he had after the game. He said, "Me and my dad got a saying. If you're on, shoot. If you're off, shoot until you're on." My players, my teammates, and my coach, they trust me. I work on that shot every day, and they trust me enough to be able to make that shot. So shout out to my teammates, end quote. He's talking about being able to stroke it from whether you're in corner 3 or whether you're 4 feet behind the 3-point line near midcourt. The guy can just shoot it. He's got that touch. So, yeah. USC, they've got the big physical guys underneath. Speaking of, I'm going to talk about Ezra Asara coming up in the next segment. You got Marion Dickinson. I should probably get that right now. Dickerson. He's also one of those tall, kind of got a good sized body on him, plays defense. So you got guard play, you've got Gabe Dines with his 7 foot, 7'5". I don't know what his wingspan is, but he's 7'5", and I have to imagine his wingspan is just as long. So that it looks like you got a complete roster, and especially once you can get Rodney Rice back. We'll find out when after he has an MRI on Friday, but we'll let you know when I get that note. So stick around. All right, one more segment to go. The holidays always feel a little easier when you know the perfect gift, and Omaha Steaks makes it almost like too simple to give the perfect gift. Whether you're treating yourself this season or sending something memorable to family and friends, Omaha Steaks delivers handcrafted perfection right to your front door. And this week is the best time to jump in because their cyber sale is here and the deals are huge. I love Omaha Steaks. I don't know if you ever tried them. I have. They are freaking delicious. The quality is exactly what you hope for. Incredibly tender steaks, rich flavor, and meals that make hosting or weeknight cooking easy. So if you're thinking about it for yourself, check out Omaha Steaks. If you know somebody who can use that, Omaha Steaks. And they have a variety. It's kind of underrated how much variety they have. They've got steaks, they've got hamburgers, they've got chicken, comfort meals, sides, desserts. It's one of those gifts that truly fits anyone. So if you want to give a great gift and save some big time money while doing it, then visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site wide, and you're going to get an extra 20% off select favorites during their cyber sale. Plus, for an additional $35 off, use promo code college at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code college. Terms apply. See site for details. All right, so let me just kind of go over some numbers from the game. It was really impressive. I told you it was tied at halftime, but USC was pretty much in control this entire game. I mean, they had a lead 30 minutes, 17 seconds. Arizona State led the game for 7 minutes, 27 seconds. That's a good sign right there. USC shot 60% from the field. They held ASU to 42%. USC, not great from behind the arc, but 39% is better than Arizona State's 32%. And free throw shooting, USC came down to earth a little bit, 61%. Against Seton Hall, they were really good. I think it was 81%, something like that. But again, they made 11 of 18. Arizona State, 23 of 27. USC, they gave us some points off the turnovers. Arizona State had 13. USC, when they created turnovers on Arizona State, they got 8 points out of that. Total rebounds, I told you about that earlier in the show. 32 for USC, 21 for just Arizona State. And they were good on the offensive glass, 12-9, and so 20 defensive rebounds. Bench points, this was huge. Huge. Again, you were missing Rodney Rice, so to get 31 points off the bench and he wasn't playing, that's significant. And USC dominated in the paint, 42-26. You like the 16 assists as well. And you combine that to 12 turnovers, a little bit too close to 1-to-1, but you like the 16 assists. You don't like the 12 turnovers, but you'll work on that. Again, without Rodney Rice, Chad Baker-Mazara, Jordan Marsh shared the ball handling duties. Stuff happens. Anyways, I mentioned the name Ezra Asar, by far my favorite player on the team. He is a workman-like, bring your hard hat, lunch pail type of dude. 14 points, 6 of 6 shooting. Yeah. Against Seton Hall, I want to remind everybody how good he was. First of all, 6'9", 250 pounds. Dude looks like a tight end. I wish he had an opportunity maybe to play tight end for USC. Against Seton Hall in the tournament, USC was 31 for 38 at the free throw line. Ezra by himself was 15 for 19. I mean, he literally outshot Seton Hall, who was 12 for 18. So USC has shown they are a better free throw shooting team. They got to just be more consistent about it. So CBM led the team in scoring 23 points, 9 of 16 from the field. I mentioned Ezra Asar. He had 14 points. Jason Kopi, 11. Dickerson, he only had 4 points, but his energy, the way he plays defense, really impressive. And I mentioned Jaden Brownell. He had 16 points. Jordan Marsh, 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Good little player. Speedy as heck, man. Really quick. So there's a lot of guys on this team, that can do something. Ezra, he brings that physicality. Chad Baker-Mazara, he just brings it. He's an all-around player. Trent Williams, just a steady force. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he'll get you the rebound. He can make it from the outside. He can play inside as well. Again, just nothing flashy. Jason Kofi, more of a defensive presence. Jerry Easter, the freshman, that dude's got some length. I think as the season goes along, he's going to become a really good player for this team. Gabe Dines, he's all about guarding the rim. That's his job. Once he works on his hands and his offensive game, he's going to be a really, really good player. I just don't know if he's got that offensive game too. So there you go, USC 7-0, Maui tournament champions. Nice way to start off the season. Come home, get a couple of days off, get ready for Oregon on the road December 2nd. Come home, host the Huskies December 6th. So if you get an opportunity, get out to Galen Center. In fact, be there for that December 6th game. Why not, right? And since we're here, don't forget USC UCLA this weekend, Crosstown Showdown. Win that game. USC football goes to 9-3. But this show's all about hoops. Eric Musselman, he's got the Muss bus rolling. Get on. Don't be a bandwagoner. Don't miss the bus. All right. I'll be back with another episode of Locked On USC tomorrow. That's what we do. So until then, everyone, you know what to do.